What about if you concentrate in the middle, the average Ahmad, the middle 80%? You have the most number of people, 80%. And that's important if you live in democracy. If you satisfy 80% of people, 80% of people who vote for you, you get elected again. Okay? And the other reason is easy to teach because they're average. All you have to do is give them better hooks, better lines, and better rods, and they'll catch more fish. Okay? But in the aggregate, what we do, if you concentrate on the low 10%, even if you could double their output, the aggregate contribution would not be much because they're only 10%. And not only that, the best effort that can only be one fish, they produce two fish, the contribution is not much because they're very low in scale. Consequently, the aggregate of society's total is very low. And the same thing as with the 10%. Even if they double, which is impossible, they're already good. Even if they were to double their output, the aggregate contribution is not much. The only thing that's nice about helping them is that they bring the trophies. They get you get to share the prize. By helping the average Ahmad 80%, that's where the most, even if you improve them by just 10%, because of the large numbers, in the aggregate they catch more fish. So if you are the leader of the country and your function is to increase the number of fish you catch, it makes sense to concentrate on the average. Did I get it? So programs aim at the middle, the average, is the greatest contribution towards society's goal. But we should not ignore the bottom, because for the reason I mentioned earlier, nor should we ignore the top, because there are future seeds, there are examples, that's the locomotive. That's our best model, so we shouldn't ignore that. So now let's get a bigger fish story. By that I mean the story, not the fish. Now suppose I'm a Pumulu, and I said to you, well, I'm not really interested I'm interested in increasing the number of fish our society catch. So from now on, we're going to have a crash training program to make better fishermen of my people. Everyone must enroll in fishing lessons. Everyone. Whether you're not interested or not. We want everybody to be good fishermen so that the society will benefit. Well, that's one leader who does that. Now, consider the other leader of the country said, well, I'm not really interested in how much fish you catch. As he's down there, doesn't like to catch fish, but he likes to do wood carving, let him be a wood carver. Maybe we can sell the wood carving and then get fish and the money he creates from selling wood carving. That's fine. I'm not interested. All I'm interested in is that everyone gets enough fish to eat, and then let everybody pursue the goals. Now, what happened in that second society where the people are given the opportunity to develop whatever talent they want and not follow the leaders dictate national good, whatever it is? Well, it could be Aziz, another corner, who's not interested in fishing, but he's interested in biotech. Goes to RIT and learn biotech, and he doesn't not interested in fish, but when he learns biotech, he learns how to create fish that can survive in minimal water. So he created a fish farm out of his village, and now he got tons of fish. So every time he wants food, fish, all he has to do is scoop and get tons of fish from that way. Now and that leader said, I don't care how you get the fish, whether you farm it, whatever it is, all I'm interested in, you get enough fish. So that's the better way. So what I'm trying to say now, you can achieve your goals many ways. The best way to achieve your goals is let everybody follow their dreams, follow their aspirations, what they do best. So if I were in charge of things, this is how my allocation is. 10% for the bottom, for every dollar you spend, 10 cents for the bottom people, 80 cents for the middle, and 20 cents for the top people. Let me give you a real life example. The approach towards education. India under Nehru and Malaysia under Tunku Abdul Rahman. India's Nehru in the 1950s catered to the top 10%. Nehru was educated at Cambridge, and he decided that the smartest Indians should also get the educational opportunities that he got. So he created a number of Indian institutes of technology in India catered to the best Indian students. They are modeled after MIT and Imperial College. He did that, it cost a lot of money, but meanwhile, the average Indian village children has no primary school to go to. Tunku's Malaysia in 1950s had a different approach. He catered to the middle 80%, gerakan lampu slow. All he did was build primary school, secondary school, train teachers. The University of Malaysia was not established until 1962, 10 years later. So that's he catered in the middle. What's the result? What's the difference between the two? Well, ITT graduates did produce, the best Indians did become good. They come to the West, come to Columbia, come to Harvard, and that sort of thing. Few of them become CEOs, companies like Citibank and Coca-Cola, and become leading professors at leading universities. A few even win Nobel Prize. But meanwhile, millions of Indian children remain illiterate. And all these smart Indians who went to American universities, some of them want to go back and help India. So when they go back to help India, the Indians said, we have no use for you. There's no jobs for you. So these guys come back to America. So Tunku's Malaysia, on the other hand, differently. The trained teachers. As Tunku said, I'd rather build schools, not barracks. Trained teachers, not soldiers. To create the dramatic impact of that, when I was young, in my village, Kuala Pilat, within 12-mile radius of my village where I lived, there were about 7 new schools being built. That's a tremendous achievement of social engineering as well as civil engineering. And it trained thousands of teachers. Now let's look at economic performance between India and Malaysia. The figure you want to look at, the figures between 1970 to 2005. In 1970, India per capita GDP was $209. Malaysia was 1,000. By 2005, India's GDP went up to 588 constant dollars. So that's about what? Slightly close to 3 times, right? Yes. But Malaysia is 4 times more. Tremendous impact. There are other reasons for doing that, but everybody knows now, most economists know that education is the key to developing to a successful economy. So that's the results, but by focusing on the middle rather than the top. Well, if narrow span were not all wrong, you know, some Indians win Nobel Prize winners and become CEOs of Citibank, as I mentioned, and a lot of Indians are very proud of that. Even though millions of other Indian children are barefooted. The most important criterion of success is there were no immigration rules present today. Millions of Indians will come to Malaysia, but very few Malaysians will opt to go to India. And that's the best test of which program, which strategy is the most successful.